I still remember the moment. My whole world fell apart. My husband, Mark, stood in the middle of our small living room with a face as hard as stone. His hands were shaking, not with fear, but with anger directed at me. And the person who placed that anger inside him stood right behind him, his sister, Anna. Anna's eyes were full of fake sorrow as she wiped pretend tears and said the lie that almost ruined my life. She stole it, Mark. I saw her with my own eyes. Your wife took Mom's gold necklace and tried to hide it. I didn't want to tell you, but I can't watch her destroy this family. Mark turned to me slowly, his voice cold and sharp. Is it true? Did you steal my mother's necklace? I felt my knees turn weak. My heart seemed to stop beating. My mouth opened, but no sound came out. It was as if my tongue forgot how to speak. The room felt too small, too hot, too heavy. I didn't steal anything. I didn't even touch that necklace. I knew nothing about it going missing. But Anna's lie was so clean, so perfect, so well-timed, that even the walls believed her. Before I could speak, Anna added another blow. I didn't want to think she could do such a thing, but I saw it. She even tried to blame the housemaid. I felt like someone pushed a knife inside my chest. I had never blamed anyone. I had never even seen the housemaid near the jewelry box. Anna had created a story so dangerous that even I was getting confused. Mark clenched his fists. How could you do this? How could you embarrass my family like this? I finally found my voice. Mark, please, I didn't take anything. I swear on my... Don't swear, he shouted, and the sound echoed through the room. At that moment, I realized something terrible. This wasn't just a small argument. This wasn't just a misunderstanding. This was something that could break a marriage. And Anna knew exactly what she was doing. I could see the small smile she tried to hide at the corner of her lips. It was quick. It was tiny, but it was real. She was enjoying this. My heart raced. Why would she lie like this? Why would she want to destroy my life? What did I ever do to her? Before I could defend myself again, Mark grabbed his car keys. We are going to my mother's house right now. You will confess in front of everyone. My body froze. Confess. To a crime I didn't commit. My throat dried. My legs shook. My vision blurred for a moment. I felt like the ground was moving under me. Mark walked toward the door, but before he opened it, he turned to me with eyes that no longer looked like the man I married. If you lie in front of them, he said, I will never forgive you. Then he opened the door and waited for me to follow. But just as I took one step forward, something unbelievable happened. Something that changed everything. Something that made me realize this was not just a lie. It was a trap, and I walked right into it. And that was how it all began. Before all this trouble started, my life was peaceful. I was newly married, full of hope, and ready to build a future with Mark. We lived in a simple but warm house. It wasn't fancy, but it felt like home. I loved to wake up early and cook breakfast while birds sang outside our window. Mark would smile, hug me from behind, and tell me my food smelled better than anything in the world. Back then, I believed nothing could shake our love. But I was wrong. From the first day I married into Mark's family, I noticed something strange. His sister, Anna, looked at me with eyes that didn't match her smile. Her lips said, "Welcome," but her eyes said, "I don't want you here." She always acted like she cared, but her words were small arrows dipped in honey. Your dress is nice, for someone with your body type. Your cooking is good, but not like our mother. You're lucky Mark loves you, even though you don't know how to keep a home like we do. I ignored it. I wanted peace. I didn't want to fight. Mark loved his sister deeply, so I tried to love her too. But as days went by, her little comments became louder. Her small frowns became longer. Her fake smiles became harder to pretend. It was as if she didn't want me in the family at all. One afternoon, I heard her whispering to her brothers. Mark married too fast. He doesn't know who she truly is. She's pretending. When she saw me walk in, she changed the topic quickly, smiling like she had never spoken. I kept quiet. I told myself, This is normal. Families need time to adjust. But I didn't know she had a deeper plan. A plan to remove me. A plan she had been building little by little. A plan to make Mark turn against me. And that plan finally came alive through one small lie. The missing necklace. A necklace I didn't even know existed. A necklace she herself hid. A necklace she brought up at the exact perfect moment to make Mark doubt me. But before all of that happened, life was still calm. I remember one sunny morning when Mark and I visited his family. His mother hugged me warmly. His father welcomed me with a smile. Even his brothers treated me kindly. But Anna, she stood at the door, staring at me like she was measuring something. When Mark wasn't looking, she leaned closer and whispered, "Enjoy your peace while it lasts." At that time, I didn't understand the meaning. I thought she was just being dramatic. But now, standing in my living room while she lied so perfectly, I understood. She wasn't warning me. She was telling me her plan. My biggest mistake was thinking she was harmless. One evening, not long before the necklace incident, she visited us. She looked around my home with judging eyes, touching things she had no business touching. "You know," she said, "Mark deserves someone who understands his family's ways, someone who grew up with us, someone who knows our traditions." I smiled politely. "I'm learning." She smirked. "Learning is slow, but a good wife is fast." I felt my heart sink a little, but I stayed quiet. I didn't want to fight his sister. That day, she saw where we kept the jewelry box gifted by Mark's mother. She noticed every corner of our bedroom. She paid attention to things most people ignored. I didn't know she was storing that information like a snake waiting to strike. Later that week, she told her family she had lost something important, something small, something shiny, something valuable. Everyone searched. Everyone worried. And I didn't know that the missing necklace was the seed of a lie that would soon grow into a storm strong enough to tear my marriage apart. Days passed, and the necklace mystery became quiet. Nobody mentioned it again. Then, everything exploded. I still remember the sound of Mark shouting my name while holding the open jewelry box in his hands. And Anna standing behind him, with that fake sad face, ready to push me into trouble. But as I stood frozen, trying to understand how to clear my name, something happened right behind me, something unexpected, something shocking, something that sent fear rushing through my entire body. And that was the moment everything changed. That was the moment the truth tried to show itself. Mark's words were still hanging in the air when something unexpected happened behind me, a loud crash. A sudden, sharp sound like a glass or metal object hitting the floor. Everyone turned. My heart jumped. I spun around and saw our housemaid, Lucy, standing near the hallway with her hands shaking. Her face was pale like she had seen a ghost, and beside her feet, lying on the floor, was the very necklace Anna accused me of stealing. For one moment, the whole world froze. Mark's eyes widened. Anna's breath caught. Lucy looked like she wanted to disappear. And I felt a tiny spark of hope, hope that maybe the truth was about to save me. But before I could speak, before Lucy could explain, Anna rushed forward with lightning speed. She grabbed the necklace from the floor and shouted, "See!" She tried to hide it. She gave it to the maid to keep for her. My mouth dropped open. "What? No, that's not true." Lucy stammered, "Mama, madam, I..." But Anna cut her off with a loud scream. "Don't lie for her. She is paying you to hide things." Mark looked confused, angry, and hurt all at the same time. "Lucy," he said firmly, "where did you get this necklace?" Poor Lucy shook her head vigorously. "Sir, I didn't steal anything. I only saw it inside the laundry basket when I was sorting clothes. I didn't know." "Laundry basket," Anna shouted. "That's her basket. She must have hidden it there." My heart punched my chest. I felt dizzy. I didn't hide anything. I didn't know how the necklace got there. I didn't even know when it went missing. But Anna was too quick, too dramatic, too loud. She knew how to control the moment. Mark turned to me with eyes full of disappointment. "This is getting worse," he whispered. "Why would you do this?" Tears filled my eyes. "Mark, listen." "No," he said, raising his hand. "I don't want excuses." Anna placed her hand on his shoulder, pretending to be heartbroken. "Brother, I didn't want to bring this up, but do you remember last week? She told me she didn't like Mom's necklace. She said it looked old-fashioned. Maybe that's why she didn't respect it." My legs went weak. I never said any such thing. Not even close. But Anna lied so softly, so sadly, so believably that even I wanted to cry. My heart was breaking. My voice was shaking. My world was falling apart. Mark didn't say anything. He just clenched his jaw and walked toward the door again. "Let's go," he said. "You will explain everything to my entire family. Enough of this confusion." Anna stared at me, her lips lifting into the smallest, most victorious smile. A smile that said, "You're done." But just when Anna thought everything was under her control, something else happened. Lucy, shaking and crying, grabbed my hand. "Madam," she whispered, her voice trembling, "I didn't tell you something I saw, something about her." She looked at Anna with fear. Anna's eyes widened in warning. "Don't you dare," she hissed under her breath. But Lucy stepped forward, holding my arm tightly like she needed courage. "Sir," she whispered to Mark, "I saw something the day before the necklace went missing. I saw." Anna suddenly screamed, "Enough, she's trying to twist the truth." She stormed toward Lucy like she wanted to snatch her tongue out. Mark held up a hand. "Let her talk." Anna froze, her eyes burning with anger. Lucy gulped, her voice barely a whisper. "I saw Anna near the jewelry box that morning. I didn't understand why. I thought she only came to clean." My heart skipped. Mark looked at Anna. Anna forced a laugh. "What a stupid lie. Why would I touch the box? I wasn't even here that morning." But her hands were shaking. Lucy continued, "Sir, I'm not sure, but I think she dropped something shiny. I didn't know it was this necklace. I didn't know she would." Anna screamed again. "She's lying." Mark's face changed. Not fully, but a little. Doubt, confusion, questions. And right there, right in the middle of that tense moment, something else happened. Something even worse. Something that pushed the situation into another storm. Something that made this story take a turn so sharp it almost broke me. Just as Mark was about to question Anna, his phone rang. It was his mother. He answered quickly, and the voice from the other end was loud enough that even I could hear it. "Mark, come home now. Something terrible has happened." His mother's voice was shaking. Then she said the words that made my heart drop into my stomach. "Your father is on the floor. He cannot move. We need you now." The room spun. Mark turned pale. Anna gasped dramatically, "Oh no, Daddy." Mark looked at me briefly, anger still in his eyes, but now mixed with fear for his father. "We're all going," he said. "No more wasting time." My heart raced. My breath trembled. I was still accused. Still blamed. Still trapped. And now, we were heading into a family emergency, with a lie hanging over my head like a sword. As Mark opened the door, Anna leaned closer to me, her whisper burning like fire. "This is only the beginning." And with that, we all rushed out. Straight into another disaster. Straight into another truth. Straight into another storm. The drive to Mark's parents' house felt like a long, shaking road into the unknown. The sky had turned gray, as if it also knew that something terrible was waiting for us. Mark's jaw was tight. His hands gripped the steering wheel so hard that his knuckles turned white. Anna sat in the back seat beside me. She wasn't crying. She wasn't even worried. She was watching me. Every few seconds, I could feel her eyes burning into my skin. The corners of her lips kept lifting into small, evil smiles. Smiles she quickly hid whenever Mark looked in the mirror. She knew I was still trapped. She knew I was still blamed. She knew the necklace lie was still hanging over me. And now, with Mark's father sick on the floor, I couldn't defend myself. I couldn't ask questions. I couldn't prove anything. I was stuck. When we reached the house, Mark jumped out before the car even stopped completely. Anna ran after him, pretending to be scared, touching her chest like she was the one whose life was about to fall apart. I followed quietly, my heart pounding fast. When we entered the house, Mark's mother, Mrs. Williams, was on her knees beside her husband. He was lying on the floor, half conscious. His breathing was slow. His left hand was stiff. His eyes were open, but he didn't seem to see any of us. Everyone rushed toward him. Mark, his brothers, even Anna, who suddenly began crying loudly, louder than anyone else. "Oh, Daddy, Daddy, please don't die," she wailed dramatically. But she wasn't even touching him. Her tears weren't real. Her voice sounded like a bad actor from a cheap drama. Mark's mother held her husband's hand and said, "Call the doctor. Hurry." Mark pulled out his phone immediately. I stood there feeling helpless. I wanted to help. I wanted to comfort his mother, but I was scared. What if they didn't want me near? What if they blamed me for even breathing wrong? As the doctor arrived and checked Mr. Williams, the tension in the room grew thicker. He touched the old man's forehead, checked his pulse, examined his eyes. "It looks like a mild stroke," the doctor said at last. "We need to get him to the hospital immediately." Everyone gasped. Mark's mother cried harder. His brothers rushed outside to get the car ready. But Anna, she did something strange. She stopped crying. Her face became still. Then she looked at me, as if the sickness of her father wasn't important anymore. And she whispered to me in a low voice, only I could hear. "You think this will save you? Don't worry. Even in the hospital, I will finish what I started." My stomach twisted. What kind of heart did she have? Her own father was lying on the floor, fighting for his life, and she was still thinking about destroying me. I wanted to ask her why. What did I ever do to her? Why did she hate me so much? But before I could speak, Mark shouted, "Come on, we're taking him now." Everyone rushed outside. They carried Mr. Williams carefully to the car. His mother held his hand tightly, whispering prayers. Mark supported his father's shoulders. His brothers held the doors open. And then, something unexpected happened. As they lifted him, something fell out of Mr. Williams' shirt pocket. A small folded piece of paper. It fluttered to the floor gently, like a leaf being blown by the wind. Nobody noticed it. Except me. I bent down and picked it up. It felt warm, like it had been close to his chest for days. I didn't open it immediately. I simply placed it in my palm. "Come on," Mark called again. I rushed outside and joined them. The car sped to the hospital, and the whole family gathered in the waiting room, trembling and whispering. After a while, a nurse came out and said, "He's stable for now." Everyone sighed in relief. But Mark's mother suddenly looked at me for the first time since we left the house. Her eyes were red, her voice was shaking. She asked a question I didn't expect. "Did you really take my necklace?" My heart broke again. I shook my head slowly. "No, Ma, I didn't." Anna stood behind her mother, shaking her head like she was disappointed in me, adding fake tears to make herself look like the sweet daughter. She whispered loudly, "Maybe she's lying, Mom. Some people look innocent, but—" Before she could finish, the piece of paper in my hand slipped and fell onto the floor. I bent quickly to pick it up, but Mark reached down at the same time. He grabbed it before I did. "What's this?" he asked. I found it near your father when we were lifting him." Mark unfolded it slowly. His brows rose. Then his eyes widened. Then his mouth opened slightly. Everyone watched him. "What is it?" his mother asked. Mark didn't answer. His eyes stayed glued to the paper. Then he looked at Anna. But not with love. Not with trust. Not with brotherly affection. He looked at her with suspicion. Deep suspicion. "What did you do?" he asked quietly. Anna froze. "What do you mean? I didn't do anything," she said too quickly. Mark didn't blink. Why? Why is your name in this note? Everyone gasped. Anna's face lost all color. What note? I don't know what you're talking about. Mark lifted the paper. It's my father's handwriting, and it says something about you, something important. He turned the paper around. I saw only a part of the sentence. A single line that made my blood run cold. Watch Anna closely. She is planning something. But before Mark could read the rest out loud, the hospital loudspeaker suddenly echoed. Family of Mr. Williams, come to room 214 immediately. Everyone jumped. The moment was cut. The secret was interrupted. The truth was hanging in the air like smoke, but nobody could grab it. Mark folded the note and put it into his pocket. Anna stared at him like a trapped animal. Then she turned and ran toward the hospital room ahead of everyone, too fast, almost like she was trying to stop something. Something she didn't want anyone else to see. And that was the moment I realized. The lie about the necklace wasn't the beginning. It was only the surface. Something bigger was happening. Something deeper. Something dangerous. Anna wasn't just jealous. She wasn't just troublesome. She was hiding something. Something so big that even her own father wrote a warning about it. But the moment we stepped into room 214, what we saw made everyone freeze. And it changed everything again. Life has a strange way of showing truth. Sometimes it comes slowly like sunrise, and sometimes it comes like thunder, shaking everything in its path. What happened in room 214 that day changed the story forever. When we rushed in, Mark's father was lying in bed, awake, fully awake. His eyes were open, and he was staring straight at Anna. Not at his wife. Not at Mark. Not at me. At Anna. His voice was weak, but his words were clear. Stop pretending. The room went silent. Anna froze. Her face drained of color. Her hands trembled. Mark stepped forward. Dad, what's going on? Mr. Williams pointed a shaky finger at Anna. She knows what she has been doing. She stole my medicines. She wanted everyone to think your mother was careless. She caused this stroke. Everyone gasped loudly. Mrs. Williams fell to her knees, crying. Mark's brothers stared in shock. Mark's body stiffened. And Anna, she broke. No, Daddy, I didn't mean to, she stammered. But the truth was no longer in her control. Mr. Williams looked at Mark. I wrote you a note. Did you see it? Mark nodded slowly. That note, his father continued, was about her, not your wife. She has been causing problems in this family for months. He took a deep breath, fighting pain, but he kept speaking. She hid the necklace. She took it. She wanted to frame your wife. She wants to break this marriage because she is afraid of losing you. Anna dropped to the floor, crying loudly, but for the first time her tears were real. She wanted to be the center of everything, he whispered. She wanted control. Silence filled the room like thick smoke. My heart felt heavy, but not with anger, more with sadness. Sadness that someone could hate me so deeply, without reason. Sadness that she almost succeeded. Slowly, Mark turned to me. His eyes were full of shame. I'm so sorry, he whispered. Tears ran down his face. I doubted you. I hurt you. I believed a lie. I stepped closer and held his hand gently. I forgive you. I said softly, a lie can blind anyone. Anna was taken out of the room by her brothers, still crying and shaking. Mrs. Williams hugged me tight, apologizing again and again, calling me daughter for the first time. Mark's father later recovered slowly, and during that time, the family learned many things about jealousy, about trust, about listening, and about protecting peace. As for Anna, she apologized months later. She admitted everything, the necklace, the false stories, the secret hate in her heart. She explained that she felt replaced. She felt like I had taken her place in Mark's life. She didn't know how to manage her feelings, so she allowed jealousy to turn into wickedness. But jealousy is like fire. The person who holds it burns first. We forgave her. But forgiveness never removes consequences. It only softens the heart. With time she changed. She grew. She learned. And she never lied against me again. My marriage grew stronger after the storm. Mark trusted me more. His family loved me deeply. And peace returned to the home. But I never forgot the lesson. Sometimes, one small lie can shake a whole house. But the truth will always stand, even if it stands alone at first. The viewers should learn this too. A jealous heart can destroy everything. A truthful heart can survive anything. And a peaceful home must be protected from those who speak with sugar lips, but carry knives behind their backs. And so, this grandma story ends with a strong reminder. Guard your home. Guard your peace. And never allow someone else's darkness to make you forget your light. Because truth may come late. But when it arrives, it always wins.